to thank y'all for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe, share, tell your bestie, tell your girlfriend, tell your boo, tell your whoever. Make sure you're getting out there because we're going to have some fun here at the Sunlight Exchange.
Yes.
I'm going to tell you a little bit about what the Sunlight Exchange is. The Lord gave me the Sunlight Exchange and the time of quarantine and shared with me some things about myself, my friends, and my friendships. And so the Sunlight Exchange is basically the opportunity to share amongst your friends and amongst your sisters and amongst other children of God the light that Christ has given us. And that came from the idea that sunflowers face the sun, and when the sun has gone away and it's cloudy out, they face each other and exchange light to keep each other alive. So my scripture that was given to me is found in John, the 1st chapter, verse 8. He was not that light, but he came so that he could bear witness of that light. So that basically is saying that, John, he won't nothing basically, but because he has a relationship with Christ, he's able to share it. And so when you have friends and you have a circle who knows Christ and you all are equally yoked, y'all are able to share that light even when it seems like you can't find God, even when it seems like, you can't get in touch with him, you're not hearing from him. Your sisters, your friends, your family will exchange that light with you. So my name is Diamond. You can find me at Vintage Butte and many other handles as well, but that's my main page. You can also follow the Sunlight Exchange on Instagram, and there is also a blog that is in the link. So in the bio, so you can share and follow us there and subscribe on our blog page. Also, I want to introduce you to my girlfriends.
Hey, it's us. So I'm Synthia. My handle on Instagram is Synthia Grace Green, but the Synthia is with an S. So if you say Cynthia, I don't know where you're gonna find her. But me personally is a Synthia. So
yes.
you know what I'm saying?
Amen.
And my name is Desman Williams. You can find me on Instagram at __Desman. That's __DESMAN.
And my name is Christa Jefferson, and my handle is Christa Mel. You can find me. Shout out to Holden Hill Tribe.
Okay, so today we're going to talk a little bit about what it's like to make sure that your sister circle or your circle of friends is not only equally yoked, but I'm sure a lot of us, everyone on this couch can attest to being in a friendship that is one-sided.
Yeah.
That you don't. You're not being poured into, you're always pouring out. Who wants to be in that kind of friendship? So we're going to talk a little bit about that today. So Synthia, I want to start with asking you a question.
Okay.
Can you talk about a time where you did feel like you needed to end the friendship because it was not only was it not being beneficial to you, it was you were pouring out so much that it was no longer beneficial to that person?
Yeah, I feel like there comes a point in a relationship, and it's usually like for me, it's always been like a mentorship friendship, where it's like this person has come into my life because they need something from me, and when they're done, they're gonna have to leave, or it's just gonna handicap their growth. Like, I have a lot of friends who are like beginner believers. So they know God from church and they know God from, what their parents know, but as far as their own personal relationship, they still have yet to develop it. So me being, rather experienced in that, because I've been saved since I was a 4-year-old. So like there's all this space that I've spent with the Lord. And over time, that relationship just kind of gives you more information so you can kind of help other people. And so that's kind of been my mission. That's my little evangelism. It's just like befriending people and showing them that you can have a relationship with God. But then eventually they come to a point where they're like, I need you to pray, I need you to do this, can you do this? And it's like, yeah, but what do you do? Because like, I gave you the tools, you know what I do because I do it all the time in front of you. But that moment is like, all right, I see that like, you're not gonna go any further with me. So I'm gonna step back so that you can just blossom by yourself. Yeah. So definitely that.
Yeah, I can say that I definitely have been in some friendships where, yeah, like I did all of the pouring, and you know, you always have that one person that's like, hey girl, how you doing? And you know, you're like, well yeah girl, I'm doing, let me tell you, well girl, let me go ahead and tell you about my week. You know, and they'll just pour out. You're like, you know,
Well,
man,
yeah.
I really didn't even get to talk about,
Right.
you know, how I'm doing in life.
Right, right.
So, but I heard everything about you. So, I feel like sometimes those are hard to, you know, keep going, to have like longevity. Those kind of sometimes fade out, and you know, of course you do have to, you know, listen to the Lord and see if He does want you to continue, you know, pursuing that person, because that may be a form of ministry, you know, as Synthia stated. But definitely, and you know, I truly do believe that, you know, reciprocity is so very important in friendships, and of course I'm thankful for that.
Right.
I know for me, when we're talking about the source and the outlet, like I was always the friend that had to drive everywhere. Like I'm the only friend that had a car. I'm the only friend that had a license. And you know, anytime we went out, I really couldn't have fun like the other ones could have fun, because I had to drive. Like I had to be the mom. I had to be like the DD, and that is draining. Like, you know,
It is draining.
You don't always want to have to drive your own car.
And then always having that burden, you know,
Right.
of having to go pick people up and then having in a car. And most of the time they don't give you no gas money.
Exactly.
Right.
None.
It's not. Sometimes it's not the picking up; it's the taking back. Like I gotta pick you up, and then I gotta take you
And
back.
I gotta do
to
both.
the house.
Like
No gas.
I got you here.
Yeah.
Right. And I got
You can't find a way back
Exactly.
by someone else.
And that's definitely great.
Yeah. Been there, done that. Got a T-shirt. Don't want to go back. So there's that.
Beautiful place.
Yeah. I won't be there again. Amen.
Amen.
So we had a conversation yesterday with my dad, and he said that he believes that friends are supposed to be lifelong, which I agree. I realized that a lot of my friendships weren't real friendships. It was like I was their friend, but they weren't mine. They weren't a friend to me,
Yeah.
and I was very friendly to them.
Right, which brings up the question, like, what does it even mean to be somebody's friend for real? Because we can all get along and kiki and hang out, but like, what is a friend?
Yeah.
Right.
What a friend we have in Jesus.
A friend is like a mutual connection. You're supposed to trust each other, you're supposed to build each other, you're supposed to support each other. And it's like a friend is somebody where you can always know that if I come to you, I'm going to be the same you. You're not going to change no matter who you're around. You know, if I'm not around, I want to make sure that you're saying good things about me. And when I come around you and your other friends, you know, I want everybody to be, you know, on the same page. If I feel like something is wrong with you as well.
Right.
So yeah, it's just.
You know, and the Bible says that a friend is like a brother, or closer than a brother.
Yeah.
That means that, I mean, I could be mad at my brother, and I'm cool with just, you know, being like, I catch you whenever I see you, I'm good. But a friend is supposed to be thick and thin, like
Loves it all time.
at all. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And you know, we've had those friends that have been there for sunny time that have dipped in rainy.
Yes.
And
I had a friend who, like, we were in different seasons of life. I was kind of going through a lot of things, and they were sort of coming up, and they had a successful moment in their career, and they wanted to celebrate it. I was not able to go, so that kind of caused a rift between us because they felt like I was not there for them in their shining moment, but really I was going through my own thing, and I couldn't afford to like be there, and I wouldn't have been in the greatest, you know, place to celebrate anyway. Though I was very happy for this friend. So I was kind of like, you know, we're at an impasse. What do we do? Because I want to be your friend. I want to be there for you, but I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to come up in your face and be like, oh, great. Like, and I don't feel like that at all.
And, you know, a real friend would understand that. They would get that. Because I've always had friends that well, I use the term friends loosely, but whenever I've had a friend, whenever they got upset with me, that was it. Like, we're not friends no more. I'm like, how old are we? But
Right.
it was like,
Are you
we're
breaking
not
up with
friends,
me?
we're not
As a
cool,
friend?
don't talk to me. And me, on the other hand, I'm always someone who, because I have siblings and I have family members, even when we're mad at each other, I'm like, well, I'm gonna be here. We still hanging out tomorrow. What's up? Like, we still going to the beach next week, right? Like,
right.
give me your part of the hotel, honey, so we can go head on. Like, cause I don't believe that if you're a friend, that any argument, any riff, any disagreement means that we're not supposed to be friends, unless God Himself says, girl, this season, that season of y'all being friends is over. And that we do have seasonal friends. We do have friends that come with different titles and purposes. Like, we have work friends that, past work, I don't want no business. I don't got no business talking to you.
It's been great.
What I'm saying? So real. And we got, we be friends with 70-year-old women sometimes at work.
Hey, Gladys.
All right, Cheryl. Cheryl. And so it's just about being cognizant of the fact that, friends do have a purpose, and being prayerful about your purpose in other people's lives, not just their purpose in yours, but your purpose in their life.
Yeah.
And that has been my prayer for the last few years, that I see the Lord's purpose for me in everyone's life that I have in my circle, and my circle has fallen apart. Obviously.
Okay.
And then it came back together. Hallelujah.
Praise
Hallelujah.
Just like that.
Just like that.
I didn't even have circles. You know how they have the little connect the dots? It was like
I was just a dot.
1, 2, 3, 4.
My best friends was always my siblings. Like, I didn't really have friends. Like, that was that. Like,
I hear you. I hear you. I really appreciate what your dad said last night. How, because you were talking about just going through things with friends, and you were saying how you weren't able to, be there. Going through things, that's a part of the friendship. Going through, like, is this friendship like legit? Are you still gonna be there with me?
Yeah.
Like, that's what it's all about. That's true. If you can go through, some hard times, that's a real friend. And they're still there with you.
and then
That's
on
a
top
real
of
friend.
that, I think people forget that friendship, or any relationship for that matter, that you enter, every relationship you enter, you're supposed to come in selfless.
Yeah.
But people come in self-serving,
Yeah.
looking for something, and it's different if it's a connection, because there's something that they need, and I have to meet the need.
Right.
But when you are entering an actual relationship with somebody, you have to come in selfless,
Yes.
or it's not a relationship.
That's good.
And that's with man, woman, platonic friendship, or boyfriend, or whatever, husband. And that's why I think that a lot of our current marriages have been failing. Because people don't think, like, they think about themselves, they do what makes them happy. And happiness is so circumstantial.
It
Happiness
is.
comes and goes.
Yeah.
It does.
So if you don't have joy already, and if you don't have peace already, if you don't understand how to love yourself and who God says you are,
Yeah.
you're not completely ready to be selfless.
You're not. And then think about what a burden it is to force somebody to make you happy every day.
That's too much.
Like,
Too much.
who knows? Because people are fickle. Like, today, getting an ice cream cone might have been the thing that was just like, yes. But tomorrow, you're going to need a brand new thing. I'm supposed to be telepathic, know what you need, know what you want. You want me to be God, but you want me to be, like, best friend God. And, like, we don't, I can't. Like, I can't. There is somebody for it. Okay? But there's somebody who can do that.
Okay?
Okay.
Amen. Yeah.
And I think with friendships also, it's supposed to be growth.
Yeah.
Like, it can't be anything like content if your purpose is to try to chase God, to find a relationship
Right.
with God. And we've been there before. Like, we've drawn, doing sex
Doing
and
all the things.
drugs and all of this. And if you're still in the same place and you're trying to grow, like, you're not getting anywhere. And you have to be accountable for each other. Like, sis, you
Right.
you get yourself together.
right.
Back in.
Sis, let's come back a little
Let me
bit.
tell you, because
Be
listen,
accountable
one
for each
thing
other.
about me, I know I need accountability.
Listen,
Okay. But then on top of that, I will hold y'all accountable too.
Right.
So just let's be clear. I need both.
Right.
I won't even be
Everybody
asking for
does.
accountability. That's how bad it is. I'm like, okay, God bless. Don't worry about me. I'll worry about you.
Work with yourself on your business.
Right. And I think it's important to do, but that you do have accountability partners.
Yeah.
And your friendships.
Yeah.
That's the only way you can grow.
That's the only way you can grow. And getting to grow with people, I think people forget that as you get older, y'all have to relearn each other.
Yeah.
Like, I had a friend who, like, I've been friends with her since I was like maybe 14, 15. When I got to a certain age, because I was so shy for so long, I was so soft-spoken, I would barely, like, I didn't like to talk to people. Like, if you walked by me, I would ignore you, even if I knew you, especially if I knew you. So when I started speaking up and saying things, she didn't really like that. And I was like, well, I don't know what to tell you, because this is me, this is who I'm is now. And so you have to come up with me, or I don't know what to tell you. So it took her a while to get used to that. It's really, our friendship it's still not what it used to be, because she's still not used to that. She's used to the lapdog diamond, and she's not used to the brave and bold diamond. And I'm like, well, if you got a problem with that, sis, I don't know what to tell you. You need to take it up with the Lord, because if we're not, you have to, in any relationship, you have to learn each other as y'all grow. You still have to have those conversations, like, all right, what is this, like, even in marriage, like, when you get to that point of growth and you change and you go through, we go through changes all the time. We get to a point and our love language may change. Things about us may completely shift. Our libidos and all that kind of stuff may completely shift, and we have to grow with each other in that area. That's as far as husband and wife, but that goes for friendships as well.
Yeah.
So that's something to consider as well, that I don't think people remember in their friendships.
I agree. What do you think, for everybody, what do you think in your relationship with God allows you to be a great friend? Like, what do you think God sort of endows you with that gives you the capacity to love people? Because the way that Diamond loves people as a friend, the way that you guys love people as a friend is like so much. Like, people can be friends and be like, yeah, we're cool, but like, don't ask me for like big things. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But you guys are like, I'll put it all out there. Like, for real, if you're my friend, I'm here. My heart is open. Like, what do you think God gives you to be able to do that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think love was always my anointing. Because even as a child, like, I was bullied, I struggled a lot, and so I never understood why people didn't like me, because I was just, pretty much, the same Diamond that I am today.
Yeah.
But people just didn't receive it. I just didn't understand.
They didn't have the revelation.
They didn't get it. And so even like the way that my teachers treated me and stuff like that, like, it was just not, I didn't have a good experience growing up. But once I finally was given the opportunity to have a friend, like, my longest friendship crumbled because I loved them more than they loved me, and they did something that was unforgivable with someone that I also love. So read between the lines. I always just put out love, and I grew up in an environment of love. So it was nothing for me to see that and be it.
Yeah.
And not just because I grew up in that environment, but because I got saved at a very young age. I got saved at 7 years old, and I've been saved ever since. Like, I never backslid. I never did none of that. I mean, I did some stuff, you know what I'm saying? But I was always, trying to stay on the, straight and narrow, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I think I was given that deposit of love as my anointing. Because I always had to be choosy. I didn't realize how choosy I had to be, but I always had to be choosy about who I allowed in my space, because they gonna get this black love if they gonna be around me. they gonna get this black love, because that's period. Like, you in my space, you in my house, I love you. That's it. Like, you calling my phone every day? Oh, I love you. Like, we go together. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I mean, what are you talking about? So I was all, this is my anointing. I think I walk in that, and it's very difficult to be that kind of person sometimes.
Yeah.
Because people, I mean, it's easy for people to take it advantage.
Yes.
And it's easy for people to see it and,